welcome to another episode of Travel with GingerMMT, and we have a really important topic today, a very helpful topic as well. Some people might say, well, I'm going to Orlando. Do I go to Disney World or do I go to Universal? It's a great question. They are different, and so that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, this is a question I get a lot from friends and family, and also, from potential clients or maybe people that I interact with through social media. Some people don't understand that Universal and Disney are different entities. And oftentimes, they'll go to Magic Kingdom looking for the Harry Potter stuff or something like that, So I think
they both do have castles, but they're different.
Different castles. So I think maybe understanding what is at each park and also which one maybe appeals more to you. So we're going to hit this and we're going to compare these two organizations, destinations on 4 different criteria. We're going to be looking at price, just which one can you get a less expensive vacation at. We're going to be looking at value for your money. We're also going to be looking at thrill factor, and then we're going to be looking at customer service or guest experience. But before we jump into that, let's talk a little bit about the difference in theming between Universal and Disney. So Universal is themed around blockbuster movie franchises. So things like Harry Potter, Jurassic World, Despicable Me, the Shrek movies. I know I'm forgetting some. E.T., things like that. Well-known movie, Fast and Furious. There's one. They also have a kids section that is very heavy on Dr. Seuss. So if you have a Dr. Seuss lover in your family, they would love that section of the park. There's also, a kids section that involves Barney, and stuff like that. And then there's a whole section that is Marvel Comics characters. Now, not Marvel Cinematic Universe, Marvel Comics. So you're going to get Captain America as he looks in the comic books, Wolverine as he looks in the comic books.
And that's a big difference between Orlando and California. Because out in California, the Marvel characters will be at Disneyland.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe characters. Yeah, yes. There is a licensing deal for the Florida theme parks where Universal has the rights to the Avengers characters, essentially. And so you will never find those Marvel characters in the Disney parks in Florida, even though you will find them in Disneyland in California. You'll find those Marvel characters on Disney cruises. So if you are on the East Coast and you want to interact with those characters, a Disney cruise that has a Marvel Day at Sea would be an excellent choice for you. And you can also interact with some of the Guardians characters sometimes at Disney World. And Disney World is actually building an entire Guardians of the Galaxy themed attraction at Epcot. So you'll have some Marvel Cinematic characters, but not the Avengers. They're always, those characters, their comic form are always going to be at Universal. So let's talk about what is at Disney, since it's obviously not Marvel, right? It's not the Avengers. You're going to have Disney classic characters. So think those animated classics, Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid, Cinderella, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Aladdin, all of those characters. You're going to have Star Wars. At Disney World, there's an entire themed land at Disney's Hollywood Studios that is for the Star Wars fan in your life. And then you're also going to get the Pixar characters. So Brave, The Incredibles, Cars, Toy Story. There's another entire themed land around Toy Story. And you're also going to get some characters like Indiana Jones, that's the type of character that you're going to find at Disney World. So their theming is different. You have the Universal universe at one park, and then you have the Disney Star Wars, that branch over at the Disney parks. So let's talk a little bit now about just the size or the setup and how they're different. So Universal Orlando is 2 main theme parks. There's Universal Studios Florida, and then there is Universal's Islands of Adventure. Evan, which one's your favorite of those 2?
Well, if I had to pick one, I would say Islands of Adventure, because that is where the Marvel stuff is. That is where, the Hulk is just an impressive roller coaster. Like the takeoff, everything. I mean, it's just the first loop and corkscrew. I mean, it's a great roller coaster. It's also, there is a portion of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in each park at Universal. Personally, having been in both of them, both are incredibly well themed.
Oh yeah.
But personally, I like the Hogwarts section better. That's also in Islands of Adventure.
Yeah.
So if I had to pick, I would pick Islands of Adventure.
I agree 100% with that. Islands of Adventure is called Islands of Adventure because the park is segmented into different thematic islands, if you will. So you have Marvel Superhero Island, you have, the Lost Continent, you have a Jurassic World section, and then you have Hogsmeade is the Harry Potter section in that park. And the Dr. Seuss area is also in Islands of Adventure. And Universal Studios Florida is divided up more into locations. So like there's a New York area and there's a London area, which is where Diagon Alley, that's the Harry Potter section in that park.
Now I will say there were way more characters out and about in Universal Studios.
Absolutely.
But there were still some out in Universal Orlando too, particularly the Marvel characters and that kind of thing.
Yeah, the Marvel characters are out sporadically throughout the day. Plus there's a Marvel character dinner at Islands of Adventure that you can book. But there's two main theme parks at Universal. There is one water park at Universal, and that is Universal's Volcano Bay. It is a very, very well themed water park. So there is a volcano in the center of it, hence
it's cool
the name.
Too.
Yeah, and it has like a whole backstory that you're kind of immersed in. I think that Volcano Bay is probably the best water park in Orlando, personally.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think there are more rides there. I think that there's more seating there. I just think it's a great park. So two main theme parks, one water park. There are 8 on-site hotels at Universal. There are 2 value hotels. That's Universal's Endless Summer Surfside and Universal's Endless Summer Dockside. There are 2 prime value hotels, which are Universal's Cabana Bay Beach Resort and Universal's Aventura Hotel. There is one kind of like moderate level, medium range that's just a step above those prime values, and that is Sapphire Falls. And then there are 3 premier properties, which are Hard Rock Hotel, Royal Pacific Resort, and Portofino Bay. And those 3 upper tier hotels have the best location. They are the nicest hotels on site. They're all walking distance to both of the main theme parks. And they also offer a really great perk that we're going to talk about later, and that is free unlimited express pass for the length of your stay. So we'll explain what that means and why that's a big deal a little bit later on. But there are 8 total properties on property at Universal, and they also have the City Walk area. And City Walk, how would you describe City Walk?
It's Universal's version of Disney Springs.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're not familiar with either one, essentially it's a
shopping area.
Yeah, shopping, dining, and entertainment district. So there will be nightlife there. There will be table service and quick service restaurants there. There's a movie theater, miniature golf course, lots of different places to shop.
A lot of fun.
And City Walk is essentially the entrance to the 2 main parks. Like you have to walk through Universal City Walk in order to get to the entrance to Islands of Adventure or Universal Studios Florida. So that's the setup of Universal Orlando. Now Disney is made up of 4 theme parks. You have Magic Kingdom, which is that iconic castle park that people think of. You have Disney's Animal Kingdom, which has animal exhibits and lots of other great. So I think some of the best rides at Disney are in Animal Kingdom.
Flight of Passage, Expedition Everest.
For sure. You have Disney's Hollywood Studios, which is themed around movies like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Toy Story. There are a lot of shows at Hollywood Studios. And then Epcot. And Epcot stands for Experimental Prototype City of Tomorrow. So it's all focused on technology, advancement, but there's also World Showcase, which is essentially like there are different country pavilions that you can tour, and some of those country pavilions are actually sponsored by the country as like, a way of promoting their destination and hopefully driving tourism to the real thing.
And it's really neat, the food that you can get in each location, and it's a really neat area.
Yeah, and Epcot also pretty much year-round, except for the summer, has different festivals that are going on, food festivals. They typically have a concert series that goes along with them, too. So that's the 4 theme parks. There are 2 water parks at Disney. There's Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon. Both of those are great. Like I said earlier, I think Volcano Bay is a little bit better, but both of Disney's theme parks, or water parks, are great. There are 18 on-site hotels at Disney, and those fall into 3 categories. You have value hotels, you have moderate hotels, and then you have deluxe properties.
And we actually have a playlist on our channel for each category. So if you want to scope out what each category looks like, we have that already divided up for you.
Yeah, and if you're listening to us through the audio podcast, you can find those playlists at www.youtube.com/GingerMMT. And if you're watching us on YouTube, just click through the channel and you'll see that. But 18 properties. So a lot of them are represented on our channel. And the deluxe properties, just like with Universal, are going to have the better locations. They're going to be the nicer hotels. We kind of expect that at both. And then Disney Springs is similar to City Walk in that there's nightlife, shopping, dining, but Disney Springs is far larger. Much, much larger. But it also is further away from the parks.
That's
like
true.
you can't walk from a park to Disney Springs like you can walk from a park to City Walk.
And you definitely don't walk through Disney Springs to enter one of the parks.
No, you don't. It's its own district. So that's the difference in the layout. So now we're going to kind of go through and we're going to talk about those 4 criteria. We're going to talk about price, value, bang for your buck, thrill factor, and customer service. So to look at price and then stemming from that value, I've pulled actual ticket pricing and we're just going to compare the 2. So a 1-day base ticket for Universal or for Disney is going to let you enter one of Universal's theme parks in 1 day or one of Disney's theme parks in 1 day. So you are going to have to choose a park with a base ticket, either Islands of Adventure or Universal Studios Florida if it's a Universal ticket, or one of Disney's 4 theme parks if it's a Disney ticket. So for 1 day base tickets, Disney comes in at $521.86 for a family of 4. I've based this on 2 children under age 10 and 2 adults for June 8th of 2020. I kept the dates and the family structure the same for each company. But a 1 day base ticket to Disney for a family of 4, $521.86. A 1 day base ticket for that same family of 4, same date for Universal is $534.64. So you can see Disney's a little bit cheaper for a 1 day ticket, less than $20 cheaper,
so
but a little bit cheaper, pretty much the same. You start to see the price differences emerge though when you look at multi-day tickets. So I have compared Universal's 2-park 4-day base ticket, which would give you 4 days of admission, 1 park per day. You have to pick between either Islands of Adventure or Universal Studios Florida each day. And I have compared that to a 4-day base ticket at Disney, which same principle applies. You would have to pick one of Disney's 4 theme parks each day for a period of 4 days. So Universal's 2-park 4-day base ticket with tax for that party of 4 comes in at $1,107.58, whereas Disney's 4-day base ticket comes in at $1,828.36. So obviously Disney's 4-day ticket is quite a bit more expensive, about $700 more.
However, one way that Disney could justify that is that you are getting 4 different parks instead of the 2 same parks for 2 days each.
Like at Universal, you would be spending 2 days in each of their 2 theme parks.
Which definitely has its pros and cons as well. I mean, you could have a better chance of riding everything you wanted to ride that way, but you would also have a better chance of running out of things
to do.
Well, I've done this park 2 days now.
Yeah. Or, maybe we got through everything on the first day and now we just feel like we're twiddling our thumbs. What do we do now? I don't know many people that run out of things to do at a theme park, but I guess it is conceptually possible, right? Yeah. But at Disney, you could do 4 theme parks in that same time frame. You could visit, you could see more, essentially. So but you're paying more.
$700 difference as well.
You're paying more, but you're not paying double. Which is another thing. You are getting twice as many parks, but you're not paying twice the price. You're paying about $700 more. For a 2-park, 4-day park-to-park ticket at Universal. Now, this would allow you to hop back and forth between the 2 parks on the same day. So you could start, for instance, at Universal Studios Florida, and then at lunch, you're like, hey, let's head over to Islands of Adventure. You could do that with this ticket type.
In order to ride the Hogwarts Express, you would have to have this type of ticket. You have to have a
park-to-park ticket, yes, because the Hogwarts Express is a train that runs between the 2 Harry Potter sections, and because those are in 2 different parks, you have to have a park-to-park ticket to ride that attraction, because you're going to start in one park and end up in another. So this ticket type, for each of your 4 days of admission, you can hop back in between those 2 parks as much as you want to, and that one would be $1,384.46 for our family of 4. The closest Disney equivalent to that is a 4-day park hopper ticket. And that 4-day park hopper ticket for Disney World is going to give you 4 days of admission. You can hop back and forth between Disney's 4 theme parks as much as you want for those 4 days. And that one costs $2,190.46 for our same family of 4. So again, there is a substantial price difference. Disney is, again, about $700 more expensive for that park hopper option than Universal is. But again, you are getting twice as many parks to hop between, and you're doubling up at Universal.
And you're getting included fast passes.
Yes.
Which will become a factor in just a minute.
Yes. Now, in terms of ticket promotions, now both Disney and Universal will run sales, for lack of a better term, on their tickets from time to time. Right now, Universal's current promotion is a buy 2 days, get 2 days free. It's pretty close to the best ticket promotion I've ever seen them run. The best ticket promotion I've ever seen them run was a buy 2 days, get 3 days free. But this one is the more common of those 2, and it's still a great deal. For a family of 4, you could get 4 days of base tickets, 1 park per day, for $979.74 with this promotion.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, you're under $1,000 with tax
for 4 days.
For a family of 4 for 4 days.
Yeah, that's incredible.
It's an incredible deal. It really is. The closest promotion that Disney has to that, which is actually their best ticket promotion I've ever seen Disney run, is their 4-park magic ticket. And their 4-park magic ticket, the first time we ever took our children to Disney World, we booked a 4-park magic ticket. I think it's a great deal because I bought it for myself. But you get entry to each of Disney's 4 theme parks, 1 park per day. So for a regular 4-day base ticket with Disney, if you want to double up on a park, you can. Like, you could skip one and do 2 days at Magic Kingdom if you want to. With a 4-park magic ticket, you can't do that. You have 1 day at each park. You can't skip a park and double up on another one. You have to hit all 4. But that one with tax for our family of 4, same dates, would be $1,563.26. So again, Disney's tickets are more expensive. Okay, even with a promotion, Disney's tickets are more expensive. We've already mentioned how you are getting entry to more parks for that additional money. But Evan, you mentioned something else as being a really important factor. What was that?
Express Pass versus Fast Pass.
Yes. Okay. So we'll tell everybody, because you're familiar with Disney. We do Disney a lot more frequently because of the ages of our children than we do Universal. So tell everybody in, I guess, layman's terms, what Fast Pass Plus is at Disney.
So Fast Pass Plus at Disney is essentially you can bypass the regular line and skip ahead, really, I guess is a good way
wait
of saying
in a shorter line.
Sure,
yeah.
You can skip line, basically. You can, jump up ahead of the vast majority of people waiting with a Fast Pass. When you purchase tickets with Disney, you were allowed 3 advanced Fast Passes per ticket.
Yep.
And so
per day.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if you're going to 4 parks total over 4 days, for each day you have 3 advanced Fast Passes that you can book for each of those days. And so you can pick the rides that you most want to ride and try to book Fast Passes to guarantee essentially you a time to get to ride that ride.
Yeah.
And that is included for free with your tickets that you purchase at Disney.
Yeah.
That is different from Universal.
Yeah, Universal, people use the term Fast Pass to refer to Disney and Universal. Universal's Express Pass system works entirely differently from how the Fast Pass Plus system works at Disney. They are not the same creature in any way, shape, or form. I mean, they are similar in that they're both giving you a shorter line to wait in. But for Fast Pass, you, like Evan mentioned, you have to schedule that in advance. You can do that 30 days out from each day of tickets if you're staying off-site in an off-site hotel. Or you can book that 60 days out from your date of check-in if you're staying at a Disney on-site hotel. And so that's one of the big perks to staying on-site at Disney is you get
a huge perk.
It is, in my opinion, the biggest perk for staying on property at Disney is you get a full month head start on booking those Fast Passes. Express Pass.
And quite honestly, that could be the difference between getting to ride that ride and not getting to ride that ride.
Especially for the more popular rides like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or Flight of Passage, like Evan mentioned. Express Pass at Universal is an additional charge. So unlike Fast Pass, it is not included in your price of admission. And one thing we didn't mention about Fast Pass is that once you've used those 3 that you get to schedule in advance, you can book more while you're in the park, as many more as you can get one at a time.
Absolutely.
Throughout the rest of the day.
So as soon as you scan your Magic Band and use that last advanced Fast Pass, immediately you can open up the app, find another ride, and get another Fast Pass. And as soon as you use that one, you can do it again.
Yeah. I mean, there have been days where when we've timed it right, we've gotten 6, 7, 8 Fast Passes in a day. And there's no extra charge for that. Universal's Express Pass is an additional fee on top of what you pay for your tickets. There are different types of Express Pass. The regular Express Pass is going to let you have that line jump privilege where you get to wait in a shorter line once at each eligible attraction. So you use it once at each ride and then you're done. You can't use it again.
So let's go back to the Hulk. If I wanted to use it at the Hulk, I could use it one time at the Hulk for that day.
And then you're done.
Yep.
If you book the Unlimited Express Pass, you can use that shorter line pass unlimited times at each ride that takes it. So you could use your Fast Pass at Hulk 17 times if you wanted to in one day. I don't think you'd have time physically to do that or would want to, but you could use it over and over again. So there's different types. Obviously the unlimited type is the more expensive of the two, but Express Pass starts at $70 per person per day. Okay. So I did a price comparison. I looked at and also one thing we didn't mention about Express Pass is that those can be used on demand. You don't have to schedule Express Pass at Universal in advance like you do Fast Pass for Disney. You show up, and if you have that Express Pass, you can use it at whatever ride you want, whenever you want to do it, without having to have made advanced plans. So if you're not somebody who likes advanced planning, who just wants to kind of be able to wing it a little bit more.
Or if you're in a general area of the park and you're like, hey, I'm near
Hulk
the
looks
Hulk right
good.
now.
Yeah, let's ride that. You can do that.
Sure.
But I crunched the numbers. I looked at Disney's 4-day park hopper ticket, which we talked about earlier. Gets you admission for 4 days. You can hop back and forth between the 4 theme parks as much as you want. But that comes with that Fast Pass privilege that we were talking about. The closest thing Universal would have to that would be their 4-day park to park ticket. So same, park hopping privilege with 4 days of unlimited Express. That's the Express that you can use at each ride that takes it as many times as you want. Disney's 4-day park hopper, remember, was $2,190.46 with tax for our family of 4. That 2-part, 4-day park to park with the Unlimited Express at Universal is $2,449.46 with tax for a family of 4. So when you look at a more equivalent ticket,
sure,
Universal is a little bit more than Disney when you're comparing kind of apples to apples.
Right.
Now, one benefit that this Universal ticket has over Disney's 4-day park hopper is that you don't have to schedule that in advance. There isn't a chance that you won't get to use your Express Pass. Like at Disney, you may not get a Fast Pass for Flight of Passage. When you go to book your Fast Passes, they might be all gone. You might not get one in advance. You might not get one on the day of. At Universal, you are guaranteed that true. You will get to wait in a shorter line at all the attractions that you want to if you've purchased that. But again, you are paying for that privilege, whereas a very similar privilege is available in your cost of admission at Disney.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, going back to our 4 criteria, price and value, in terms of just overall price, you can get a cheaper vacation at Universal. Their hotels tend to be a little bit less expensive than Disney's. How would you say Disney's hotels compare to Universal's hotels? What's your opinion?
I would say that the value, particularly the prime value resorts at Universal, mm-hmm. which are Cabana Bay and Aventura, mm-hmm. which if you want to see our tour of the Aventura, we'll put a link in the YouTube card right up here. Well, if you're looking at it on YouTube, right? And then also, if you're listening to it on the podcast or watching on YouTube, we'll put a link in the description below. Yeah. But those are very similar to moderate level resorts mm-hmm. at Disney World. Mm-hmm. That would be my... The deluxe resorts are pretty much the same.
I would agree. I think Disney deluxe resorts and Universal deluxe resorts are pretty much an apples to apples type of situation. But I will agree that when you get into the value level, Universal's hotels are a little bit nicer, mm-hmm. I think. And they do tend to be a little bit less expensive. So you can have just an overall less expensive vacation at Universal if you get a basic ticket and a basic hotel.
They're not, the value resorts are not as themed as they are at Disney mm-hmm. World. They're more like modern and that kind of thing.
Yeah, the theming is a little bit more,
sophisticated.
Yeah. Now, Cabana Bay is probably the most Disney-esque in its theming because it's a very retro vibe and there's a lot of retro cars out in the front of it. That's actually our favorite one. We like that one a lot. But so the price, yes, is less at Universal overall. The value, though, I think the value at Disney is better. I think that you're getting more for your money at Disney. Even if you just buy that promotional 4-park magic ticket, you're still getting more because you're getting 4 days of fast passes included with that.
At 4 different parks.
At 4 different parks, as opposed to 2 with Universal. So I think there are more things to do, more things to see at Disney, really twice as much if you just look at the numbers of how many parks, how many hotels, how many water parks. It's double the size, but it's not double the price. And so that's why I do think the value is better at Disney.
That's a good way of looking at it.
And you can get an overall less expensive trip at Universal though. And for a lot of people, the fact that Universal is smaller is a pro because Universal is very walkable.
Sure, you could walk from park to park.
Easily you can. And you
cannot do that at Disney World.
You cannot do that at Disney World. No. You can't walk from any Disney park to any other Disney park except for Epcot and Hollywood Studios. You could walk between those. But those are the only 2. And it's going to be about a 15-20 minute walk. It's a little hike. So yeah, but Universal is far more walkable. Now, in terms of thrill factor, I think this one's easy.
Oh, absolutely.
It goes to Universal, hands down. Universal has, you're the roller coaster enthusiast. You talk about, I'm a little bit of a wuss when it comes to roller coasters. I can handle the family coasters, but if it's got loops, I'm out at that point.
So you just mentioned loops. So let's look at that. Currently, as of the making of this video, because I'm sure this will change. Mm-hmm. Right now at Disney World, there is one roller coaster that has a loop in it, and that's Rock and Roller Coaster and Hollywood Studios. There's probably less that don't have loops in them than do in Universal. I haven't really thought about that much. But,
yeah.
But
you got Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket.
The Hulk has at least 3 inversions on it, which is where you go upside down. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking for like intense thrill ride roller coasters, then yeah, Hollywood Studios is Universal is certainly the place that you would find that.
Also, if you like motion simulator rides, Universal would be a great place to go because a lot of their attractions are 3D simulator rides to make you feel like the Universal's catchphrase is "ride the movies." Makes you feel like you're in the movie. And Disney has a bigger, more different variety. So they don't have as many intense coasters as Universal does. They don't have as many 3D simulators, but they do have some other types of things like family coasters or slow dark rides or water rides. And there's some water rides at Universal too. But I would say it's pretty easy to give the thrill factor points to Universal. If you're a big thrill seeker, Universal is probably more up your alley.
And so age of children could factor into that.
It could.
If your kids are big roller coaster folks, then maybe Universal. But if they're younger and they're not super into roller coasters yet, maybe Disney. That could be a factor to consider.
Absolutely, it could.
No pun intended there. Thrill factor being a factor to.
Well done, sir. And then the last of our 4 criteria was customer service or guest experience. You're not going to have a bad experience at either park. Universal is great about customer service. They treat you well. They want to make you happy as their guest, as their client. But Disney goes a step beyond making you happy to making your trip magical. Disney, that's their goal. Disney literally wrote the book on customer service. It's like they have a book on how to do customer service well. True. So neither one is going to give you a bad customer service experience. And I'm not knocking Universal at all.
No.
But that is a conscientious brand choice on Disney's part. Sure. That they are going to go that much further than what you expect to make it more magical for you.
Sure.
And so, and as a travel agent, I deal with Universal and Disney a lot. I'm talking to their customer service representatives, depending on, what type of the year, because travel's, obviously a very cyclical business, seasonal business, but sometimes on a daily basis, multiple times a day, I'm interacting with customer service representatives for both of these companies. I have yet to have a poor customer service experience with either one. And that's saying a lot because I've been at this for almost 2 years and have worked with them a whole bunch more than the average consumer. And I've yet to have a bad experience either way. But I do feel like Disney, especially when you're in the park as a guest, is going to go that one step further.
Yes.
To make your trip more magical. So, this is a kind of I guess more of a subjective topic here. Sure. So which one's right for you? But I would say if you were looking, just to kind of bottom line this, if you were looking for an overall less expensive vacation and you are big into thrill seeking and you love movies and feeling like you're in the movies, Universal is the park for you.
Sure.
Or if you want something that's smaller, more walkable, Universal would be your choice. If you want to have no chance of running out of things to do, if you love that magical, just whimsical, nostalgic vacation, then Disney is the place for you.
I agree.
And two, if you're a Harry Potter fan, then that's no contest. Yes. You got to go to Universal because there is no Harry Potter stuff at Disney. If you want to
meet some princesses, you better go to Disney.
That's right. That's right. And I would say overall characters are a little bit of a bigger deal at Disney. There are more character breakfast, character lunches, character dinners.
Way more
at Disney. And we didn't even get into some of the differences and things like their dining plan. Maybe we'll do that in a later episode. But both of them are great, but I would say it depends on, are you looking for that whimsical, nostalgic, all ages, vacation, or are you looking for something a little more on the thrilling, adventure seeking side? Yeah.
Sure. I think that's totally fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, we hope this has maybe helped if you've been asking the question, should I go to Disney or Universal? Hopefully this has kind of helped give you some ideas. Like I said, you won't find Harry Potter at Disney World. Nope. He's going to be over at Universal.
Yep.
And you won't find Cinderella at Universal. She's going to be at Disney World, okay?
That's right.
So that's a big part of it, because the characters are a big deal in what you're going to, which park you go to.
Mm-hmm.
But we hope this has been helpful. Please, if it has been helpful, let us know that by maybe liking this video or sharing it with somebody who might be trying to decide should I go to Disney World or Universal. And we would greatly appreciate that. And please, if you want to check out the different hotels, we have tours on this channel that you can, for both destinations, that you can check out, and we're constantly adding to those. So we have even plans this year to continue to add to those tours. And we very much appreciate you spending some time with us. And if you're looking to book a trip, her services are totally free to you. If you're wondering how, we got videos about that too.
Yeah.
So we hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you next Thursday.